If you have a few minutes, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Home Team Heroes. The Home Team Heroes is the latest franchise from Blokpax. It's a Blokpax exclusive, and these are superheroes that are inspired by pro athletes. You're able to collect digital trading cards of these heroes, some of which earn you points based on the fantasy play of the actual player that inspired the hero on the field, and others you score points just for collecting cards. Rarer cards score you more. Put the cards in a set or a rainbow, they score you more points. And then ultimately, you can spend those points on real physical sports cards, memorabilia, sealed wax, you name it. We've had over $3 million in real physical rewards go out the door in the last 18 months. And again, I'm talking about high-end sports cards. Here you see a Mantle. Here you see a Cobb, this East-West Jordan, a Jordan Auto, a Juan Soto Blue Bowman Chrome Auto, LeBron Rookie. Oh man, look at this! Look at this Kobe. Oh, gosh, that Kobe is so sick. Mahomes, Burrow. We've had them all, and not everything is super high end. There's some cards you can get on the low end as well. So it really kind of runs the whole range. But going back into the Home Team Heroes, the Home Team Heroes in and of itself is a wonderfully fun digital collectible adventure. Essentially what you're going to do is you're going to rip packs. You're going to chase parallels just like you would in any physical card set. You're going to earn points in the base set here based on how rare the parallels are that you hold. And then if you pair them up in a set or a rainbow, you can multiply your points. And then 1 in every 100 packs, past the pack odds on average, you're going to hit a Color Pop insert. The Color Pop inserts are actually, the points that they score are tied to the performance of the player on the field that inspired the hero. So here, one of our frontline heroes, Merlomes, a little bit of Merlin, inspired by Patrick Mahomes. He's a wizard. Patrick Mahomes is a wizard on the field. If you have one of these Merlomes Color Pops, when Patrick Mahomes balls out, scores touchdowns, does whatever he's going to do on the field, you're going to score points. And again, the reason those points matter is because you're able to cash them in on real physical cards. Now, the engine that makes all of this go is Blokpax. Blokpax is a revolutionary new platform for collectors. So this is where you're going to come to buy your packs, rip your packs, chase all those exciting hits. I can show you what some of that looks like. And then this is where you're going to come for your secondary market as well. So if we just take a drop in real quick right here, here's the football base set. Some of these cards I was just telling you about. And you can see the listings here on the Commons. Commons, like most products, very accessible. And then if we drop in here, let's see kind of what's been going on. Actually, literally a minute ago, a double check off the board for $54 in red out of 25. Actually, a second double check off the board for 58. As I'm recording this, news just broke that Rodgers' season is over. Double check is a hero that was inspired by Aaron Rodgers. So just like you see this behavior in other types of collecting, people may be making a play here that Rodgers' career may be over. This is the first year of the Home Team Heroes franchise. This is the first time the hero double check, which is inspired by Aaron Rodgers, has been in. Maybe a collector making a play on that. Scroll down here, we see a bunch of commons. Here we saw some golds go off, 48, 48. These are out of 10. Shepard, he was inspired by CeeDee Lamb. Wobbler, he's inspired by Waddle for the Dolphins. And you can see that even out of 10, these out of 25 reds for double check, who's inspired by Rodgers, went for a little bit more. So this is the secondary market. And if you look over here, you can see the type of transactions. I mean, I'm back an hour, 3 hours, 4 hours. I haven't got to 4 hours yet. 8 hours. So a little bit of a gap overnight. But that's the way the secondary market works. And it's just super point and click simple. Something that's really easy for anyone to pick up and run with. So jumping back in, let's move over and see if maybe we've had any activity in the Color Pops here around that Aaron Rodgers news. This is all new to me. We've not. About an hour ago, somebody got an unrevealed Color Pop for 500 voltage inspired by Justin Herbert. One of those went off the board 8 hours ago, so late last night. 367. But again, these are the color pops that allow you to score based on the fantasy production of the player. And the really interesting thing about the color pops is when you hit one in your packs, it actually comes out unrevealed. So think of it like a pack within a pack. And then you can choose to either reveal it or not reveal it. And that's what somebody's doing here, is that they're buying an unrevealed color pop that someone hit in their packs. They sold it for $522. So you can see here that there's a bit of a spread between the lower end, because some of the color pops, I'm sure there are probably some down in the probably in the 200s. So $250 for a G-Saw inspired by Najee Harris, $270 for a Stitcher inspired by Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, a player that's on the PUP list, not going to play for the first 4 games. But with the unrevealed color pops, what you have is you have a chance to hit one of the much more rare ones, one of the ones that can earn you more points. So that's why, just like physical wax, they tend to trade for more than the low end, not as high as the high end, kind of somewhere in the middle. And again, you can choose to rip them yourself. Cool thing about the color pops is the points that they will earn you stay locked in, even when the season's over. If someone reveals that color pop even next year, 2 years from now, the rewards that it earned are still there. And one other thing that's worth noting, actually, let me hop back in here real quick. Actually, let's just hop over to the base set. So if I hop back over to the base set and we see where these 2 double checks went off the board, these actually went off the board for 1,400 BPX, 1,499 BPX. BPX is the reward mile that you get and earn for collecting. It's also what you're able to get when you sell on the secondary market. Now, there are rails to pull that out to money if that's what you ultimately wanted to do. However, what most people will then do is they'll stockpile that and they'll use it to get these real physical collectibles, right? So if we scroll down to the bottom of this list, I mean, there's several cards here that you could have almost swapped out one for one just on selling that one of those cards for $1,500. Some of these lower end cards, you would be able to have picked those up. If we actually go into the reward room and just see what's active right now, there are no active auctions right now, but those 1,500, I mean, they can buy you a box of Pokemon. They can buy you this Kyle Tucker. I mean, all of these are listed. They can buy you this Jeter rookie. So you're able to come over and take what you get in selling your hero cards, and you can run them right into the reward room, or you can wait for the bigger auctions. The auctions are where a lot of the excitement is, because that's where it's not a fixed price. You might be able to score a deal head to head with another collector. Just a lot of fun stuff going on, man. And it's a really fun and engaging thing. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to lose sight of the collectability of the home team heroes themselves. Meaning, this is year 1 of this product, and these heroes they're our heroes, and we're building this franchise around these heroes. I'll just address it straight ahead. The story, and you can read this in our comic collector guides that we have as you get involved and begin to understand this. These are ordinary fans that ate a radiation-infused hot dog at a game, took on superpowers, and decided to then build their suit and their persona around their favorite players. This frontline hero right here, his name is Barocious, the one standing in the front. That's not Joe Burrow. That's a fan of Joe Burrow. And it would be out of place for us to license Joe Burrow's name, image, and likeness for that hero, because he is literally not Joe Burrow. Double check in the back there. He's inspired by Aaron Rodgers. He was a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. He's not Aaron Rodgers. The other thing is, our heroes don't play for NFL teams. They protect the world for the home team heroes. So it would be out of place for them to wear team logos, to hold themselves out as being on the team. Their team is the home team heroes. And so that's why these heroes, they're not football players. So it would be out of place for us to license even the NFL and team marks. These are our creation. Yes, they are inspired clearly by the players. That's how the whole product is built. And yes, they can earn you points, certain of the cards, when the player that inspired the hero performs well on the field. But that's essentially the home team heroes product. You jump in, you place an order, you buy packs, you rip your packs. You might hit the rarest of the rares. You might be the person that's the next one selling something like in baseball. We saw the Showtime 10x color pops. Some of those color pops have multipliers. They can actually earn you more than the fantasy production of the inspired player. The 10x's are kind of the grail chase. They earn you 10 times the amount of fantasy points as a normal color pop. The one for Showtime in baseball sold for over $7,000. The one for Chosen, I think, was over $5,000. He's inspired by Juan Soto. We haven't had any of the big multiplier color pops come off the board yet for football. Haven't had any of them sell. Have had a few of them get pulled, but some of the real big ones are still out there, still unrevealed. But even still, you can see some of these sales that we've seen already in the football product. A regular Barocious, a really cool aesthetic one, went for $900 equivalent. The J Jets, which is inspired by Justin Jefferson, going for $500. And then down here on the low end, Gravedigger, inspired by Stephon Diggs, going for $290. I mean, these are kind of the chase, along with the high color in the base set. And again, I love the collectability being in first. So if we go into the football base set, and you come over here, and I can look at the weapon that the heroes have. So let me just sort it to one hero. I'll sort it to attack. He's inspired by Dak Prescott. And then what you'll see that there are different weapon inspirations. So this is a biohazard weapon for Dak. So it's kind of nuclear powered. And then he has one that's inspired, or one that's fire. All of the heroes have these different weapon types. Here's his ice type. And so their superhero persona will take on a different look and feel for each of these types. Now, when we get to the origin weapon, this is how the art first came to us from the artist that did the superhero. So in their origin weapon, we actually stamp those first edition. And so those are a little extra sought after by collectors. And this one, actually, I can tell because it doesn't have an owner listed. This one is actually still in packs and has not been pulled yet. And this is the black 1-of-1 origin first edition stamp for Attack, inspired by Dak Prescott. And so collectors really love and really vibe with that. One other thing that's worth noting, if we bounce back over to the color pops and you look at a particular hero, no two of the art on any of the color pops are the same. So here's a Barocious with a multiplier. The multipliers, they kind of stand out. He's got a 5X that's been pulled and a 2X that's been pulled, neither of which I don't think have been listed or sold. That one has not been sold. But again, if you look, you'll see that the art on each one is different. Here he's got the Origin Tiger, the Fire Tiger on these. You can see he's got different uniform combinations, black pants here, white pants here. You see the Ice Tiger down here, the Titanium Tiger with him, the Radiation Tiger. And so the attributes of the heroes on every color pop change. There's 99 color pops in total per hero. So these are kind of like, think of these like a patch autograph, a 99 RPA, where the patch in every card is unique and it gives every card a little bit of a different collectible thesis on how you vibe with the card, how you like it. Some people obviously multicolors in patches. Here it does appear that sometimes the origin weapon type on a color pop does seem to vibe a little more with collectors, but then you'll see some folks that just really like a particular attribute. They may be fire collectors and they really want to get their heroes in the fire type. And so we see some difference in how the color pops behave based on that unique artistic balance that they have. So that's an overview, really, really fast, really high level. We could also go in and see the baseball base set. Baseball is still available. It's football season, but we do have a limited amount of baseball left. And you can see here, actually, so commons for baseball, market's a little more mature later in the season. Maybe some of the supply is starting to come off, and we see a pretty significant difference in where these most recent commons in baseball went versus what we were just seeing over in football, which only just released. And again, you get down in golds and other color parallels, and then you go back and you look into the Color Pops for baseball. See if we've had any activity. There's really a lot of attention right now on. So yeah, 10 hours ago, someone picked up a base Showtime, $657, so 17,000 equivalent in BPX. And we could go take a look in the reward store. I'm confident that would get you something pretty nice. Like there's some nice cards can be had for that. That could get you something really nice come the auction. And then whoever has made this buy, they're banking on Showtime giving them really good value at the end when the reward miles are issued. It's actually worth noting, I actually had this pulled. The average reward for active users for season one, not season one of Home Team Heroes, but season one of Blokpax, back when our collectibles were called Infinite Moments, and we still have those, and we'll be moving those into the marketplace soon. But with those, the average reward was 173,000 reward miles per collector on average. So that's roughly $5,000 to $6,000 of value on average that our active collectors took home from season one. And when I say active, they participated in at least 2 drops. So people that participated in at least 2 drops in season one averaged about, call it $5,000 of spending power today. A lot of it's already been spent because they took home those millions of dollars of cards that we were talking about. And so that's the reason the secondary market exists. That's the reason that someone is, or one of the reasons. It's not the reason, but it's a combination here of collectability and gamification is what drives that secondary market. And then the gamification is much higher in the Color Pops. The Color Pops, very much gamification, whereas the base set skews a lot more to the collectability side, building sets and that sort of thing. So that's all that in a gist. Let's hop back out. All right, so let's rip some packs. So let's hop in. We'll rip some football, buy some football packs. Let's go ahead and I'll throw 5 in there. Buy and rip. I want to add some baseball. Almost going. No thanks. Actually, I'll go ahead and throw some in there. I'll throw 5 on there. All right. Let me do the old cooking show thing where they put it in the oven and pull it back out. I don't want to sit here and enter all my information on a video, so I'll come back in once I've got my packs bought. All right, we did the little cooking show magic. I'm now ready to rip. Just a quick note, when you come in, this may look a little bit different. You'll still see these tiles, but this is, I know, one area of the UI that's actively being worked on and tweaked. If I were to hit a black 1 of 1, or if I were to hit a color pop with a multiplier, we will random that off to holders pro rata. You'll get entries pro rata, and I'll do it to the set. So if I hit a black 1 of 1 in football, we'll pro rata draw it winner from all the holders of football. If I hit in baseball, we'll do that. If it's a 1X color pop, I'll probably just hold it, use it for another promotion. And if it's gold if it's a gold, I might do a promotion with it. But any of the other stuff, I'll just keep in my wallet. But so just want to kind of get that out of the way. So what I'll do is I'll go in, I'll rip a few packs, and then I'll have them. I'm going to rip them all, but then I'll have them edit maybe ahead to where hopefully we get some hits, and I'll have them edit ahead to that. But let's just jump in. Let's do football first. Let's bounce in here. I may have to adjust my music settings. Actually, I'm just going to turn the music off. So you do have music down here that you can control. The pack ripping experience has a lot more visual feedback and stuff if you do it on a desktop. If you do it on mobile, it works fine. It just clicks through the packs. Some people actually prefer that because they just like to move a little quicker, and the mobile experience can get you through it quicker because it doesn't have the animations. I kind of like the animations because the animations change as you get different hits, and that kind of builds some pretty cool anticipation. If you ever buy a bunch of packs and you just want to get through them, there is an open remaining. I won't click that. It does prompt you to make sure that's what you wanted to do, but once you do that, your rip is over. You can exit your rip in any time and come back later. So if you have a bunch of packs, you want to open 20 now and come back and do 20 later, you can certainly do that. Whatever makes it fun for you. I love to, my daughter collects these, and when she rips, I love being there with her, and we've had some fun doing that. So let's jump in. That was really loud. I have my volume cranked way up, so let me turn it down to balance that out a little bit. All right, so I got a Bayou, and that is his radiation weapon. Another thing you can do is you can either just click the card, or you can actually hit your space bar. So it's wired up, or it's adjusted so you can just hit space. So I'll just use my space bar. It'll bring in a new pack here. Music will fire. Another common. I can tell it's a common by the start of that animation. If we start seeing colors, that's really good. So this is a cool one. This is Bison, inspired by Josh Allen, and that is his origin weapon type. And so that one gets the first edition stamp. So even though it's a common, that one has a little extra juice. It's a good, inspired by a top-end player, and it's got the first edition stamp. Another common. So you can go back and you can look at those pack odds that I had on the screen earlier, and you're about 1 in 8 pack odds, no, not 1 in 8. I'm trying to how to say this. I guess 8 out of 10 on average will be roughly a common. I think it's a little under 8 is the average there. So I have some color here. So this is an aqua. This is out of 99, and it is Tank, and that's Tank in his molten lava version, which is cool. Cool Tank there. And Tank is inspired by Derrick Henry. Next up here, we have a common Shepherd. Shepherd, one of my favorite hero designs. He just stands there like ready to take on the world. He's inspired by CeeDee Lamb, really good top-end receiver in that looks to be potent Dallas Cowboy offense this year. Let's get a hit. Another common. And we're rocking Cupid. Cupid inspired by Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers. And our spin on Cupid, you think of Cupid as a cherub with wings and floating around and in a baby diaper or whatever, but our take a little more hardcore on Cupid. He flies with a cape, and his arrow will definitely do some damage. So hit a few comments there. So what I'll do now is we're on pack 6. I'll have them skip ahead in the editing, and we'll maybe look at some of the hits. Hopefully, I mean it's a totally randomized break, so you're playing the pack odds, and over a large sample size, you'll kind of come back to the mean. But 100 packs, anything can happen. We might get a color pop, might not. We'll see how it goes. Let's do it. Oh, gold. Here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Lawman, and it's a first edition. That's a great hit. Man, that's a good one. Lawman, he's inspired by Trevor Lawrence. He's from Cartersville down there in Georgia, went to Clemson. So we've known who he was here for a long, long time in this area. And even though he went to my collegiate rival, still just a phenomenal player in a phenomenal offense there that inspired our hero, Lawman. And that is his gold, and it's in the first edition Origin. That's a great card, and yeah, that's a box maker right there. I love that card. That's awesome. Oh, blue. So we come right back off the Trevor Lawrence. Now we're getting hot, and it's another first edition. This is Eagle Eye, Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. Going back to when he was benched to then sit a season, go make a name for himself at Oklahoma, end up getting drafted, being a backup, and then where he is now, the big contract, all the things, getting to the Super Bowl. I love him. He's an inspirational player, and Eagle Eye will be watching his season with great intent. This is the blue out of 99. Love the blue parallels in almost everything I collect, whether it be physical. Love the blue parallel in Home Team Heroes. It's a great parallel. And then to get that again in the first edition, that's another great card. And to come back-to-back off the Lawman, two really, really cool hits there in 2 first edition Origin weapon types. Love it. Let's keep going. Let's keep it hot. Stay hot. And Aqua, right back. That's 3 color in a row now at 199. This is not the Origin. This is the radiation version of Cupid. We saw Cupid and talked about him earlier with a common hit, but this is his radiation version. I love that mask with the hearts on it. A little toss of, back to the idea of Cupid and, of course, Jordan Love name. But out of 199, great set builder color here. People love to build out that Aqua set. It's a really popular set for collectors to build out the Aqua set because it's a little more attainable at the 199 supply. Oh, we got another blue. Boom. We're getting hot with color now. Stitcher out of 99. This is his Fire Edition. Stitcher is inspired by Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, of course, on the PUP list to start the first 4 games of the season. Hopefully they get everything settled out, and either he gets traded. Can you imagine if he gets traded into that Miami offense? Oh, man, that would be incredible. But again, the blue out of 99, this is the Fire Edition. I hate to pick favorites, but I would say other than Origin, I'm definitely an Origin fan, but Fire probably, and it can vary sometimes, like in different players, like in Matata from baseball. I love him in the radiation version, but I'd say overall fire, probably my favorite, secondary behind the Origin weapon. Nope. There we go. Aqua, getting back into the color game, had a Shadow Strike. He is inspired by Devontae Adams and that unique drop step move that he makes. One interesting thing to make sure that everyone's aware of, the way this is randomized. This product gets randomized at the start. Think of it like where a random gets run and then it gets hashed, and we actually publish that hash to the blockchain so that you know that it's never tampered with. If we actually tamper with that hash, people that know how to go back and look at the blockchain will be able to tell that we changed the order, the sort order of the cards. So think of it almost like a shoe in Vegas, and all the cards are shuffled and they're in that shoe and they're coming out. And so your actions impact other people's actions the same way. If I make a bad hit in blackjack, it's going to impact that guy that's sitting next to me, because that could have been his card. If I hit something I shouldn't have hit, I take the face card. He needed it to double down on 11, whatever. It's that same type of thing if you just think about that mindset. So again, a provably fair break for everybody that's out there, provably fair random, not monkeyed with, and it is what it is. It's set in stone. And then the universe of collectors ultimately control how and when cards come out of that shoe. So just worth noting that. I think it's in this era where physical product, a lot of skepticism around hits being sent to certain places or certain breakers, whether it's true or not, there's a lot of smoke around it. It's certainly possible. It's not possible here because we can't control when anybody is ripping or how any of that stuff works, and it's set and we can't change it. So that's something that I hope as a collector that you'll really like about not just Home Team Heroes, but everything in the land of Blokpax. We really fight hard for randomizations, provably fair breaks. That's why when I don't know what I may hit the biggest card in the set while we're doing this. And if I do, then we'll random it out to other collectors kind of on a 1-for-1 basis for what they hold. But it's absolutely possible right now that I could hit in the next click, I could hit the biggest card in the whole, and that's still unpulled. So just want to put that out there. Fireworks, boom! That means we got either a color pop or a black 1 of 1, and it is a color pop. Awesome! I really wanted to get a color pop so that I could show you all how the color pop reveal works. It says scratch to reveal here. That's actually just artistic. You don't scratch the screen. I actually put in a request to have that changed because had a few new folks that were literally on their phone. They were trying to scratch it. Makes sense in this era of touchscreen devices, but you actually don't scratch it. You'll reveal it. We could either bounce out right now and reveal it, or we can reveal it when we're done, or we can hold it, or we could sell it unrevealed. So basically what we just pulled essentially is a pack within a pack. And that could have the 10X. I'm not sure. I think we've had only had 5 of the 10Xs come out so far. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the Merlones is still out. I'm pretty sure the Barocious is still out. Trying to think who else is I think I know Bison was pulled. So Josh Allen's been pulled. I'm trying to think, was it Stefan? Was it the Gravedigger got pulled? I can't remember. I'd have to go look. But this is the card where now we have a chance to hit something really big with this, or we have options. Hold it, wait till later, reveal when we want. Again, it works that same way, the same way that shoe order. So this is now your card, and you can pull off that deck when you want. It's like the fate of this card is not predetermined, okay? It'll be based on when I reveal, when other people reveal. Some people are superstitious. They'll reveal them one a day, one a week. They'll wait until they've heard people redeeming a lot of players that they may think are lesser, and then they'll try to reveal thinking that, it's, but again, all provable on the blockchain, hash and put out there so that it can't be tampered with, and just a really cool thing. And I'm glad we got one, and I can't wait to, we're going to rip this sucker though. We're going to see what we get. So let's keep rolling, and let's see what else we pick up here we're on pack 42. So we're 42 into this 100-pack rip. Color after a color pop. That's nice. Mick Army Knife. That one is inspired by Christian McCaffrey, former Panther, who I enjoyed pulling for. Still pull for him. He seems like a great guy. That is his radiation weapon type, and that is out of 199. Again, a collector, a set builder favorite. Aqua. Tongue Twister. This is my second favorite art in the collection. Barocious is my favorite. Him with that tiger and the pimp coat, inspired after Kramer from Seinfeld when he was mistaken for a pimp. I love that Barocious, the whole everything about Barocious. Like, he's my favorite. But this is my favorite art favorite character not named Barocious, and a fun player to watch this year. Holy cow, just a high-powered offense, but love Tongue Twister. This is his Radiation version, not the Origin, but really cool and great color match because of the colors inspired by Miami. Great color match with that Aqua. Again, a set builder favorite. Aqua, color, and it's J-Jets, inspired by Justin Jefferson, and that is his Ice version. And again, set builder favorite Aqua parallel out of 199. Great one to build a set. Aqua, and we have an Aqua double check, and it is his first edition. And just terrible news of him going down with that Achilles rupture. Will the career be over? I mean, this may be the first and last time we see the hero double check in one of our active sets, and happy to get that in a first edition of any type, but to get it in color, that's great. First edition double check there. Awesome card. Another Aqua, back-to-back on Aquas. Love to see it. And it's Tank, and this is Tank in his Ice version. He's got that ice cold on the side of those blasters there on that Tank. And Tank, of course, inspired by Derrick Henry. Red, hit that gold early, and now we come with a red, and it is Tongue Twister, and it's in Radiation. Man, I love that character so much. Just really cool, and big fan of Tua. I was a big fan of Tua and Jalen Hurts. It was, again, going back to Alabama, both just, happy to see them both having great success. And he is, like I said, he is in a high-powered offense. 3 inspired heroes, actually, from coming out of the city of Miami. We've got Tongue Twister, Triggerman, inspired by the Triggerman, Tua Tagovailoa. We've got Wobbler, inspired by Jalen Waddle. And then we've got Cheetah, inspired by Tyreek Hill. And, man, what a week that Tyreek Hill had. So big color pop scoring points for those guys this year, I think, if everybody stays healthy. And a blue, backing up a red with a blue. And it is a force field, and this is his Radiation version. This one is inspired by Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears, and just a really cool hero concept, just the way he's flying, the hands back. I really like that concept. I know he's popular with a lot of other folks on our team. And the blues, again, love the blues. I love blues in almost everything. I used to collect Bowman Chrome baseball autographs and was really a bit of a blue maxi there. It's a little bit harder set to build than that Aqua set, but it's still one that's loved by set builders. When you start getting into reds out of 25 and golds out of 10, those get really hard for set builders. So you tend to see those a little more heavily. People will build rainbows off of those. But this one is for a lot of our collectors, this is a very popular set to do the blue set, but out of 99, it does get a lot tougher. And then the red, super tough, and we usually only have a couple of people per year, depending on what we've got, that'll manage to get a gold set. The gold set's really, really tough to get. You'll see some gold sets in, like, not of the full set, because you can actually do a gold set of each hero in any variation, or you can do each hero in a specific variation of their weapon. You will see some of those in reds and blues. Those are a little more attainable, but getting that full set, all 180 variations, and doing that in red or gold, that's tough. But you'll see a lot of sets in Aqua, a lot of sets in blue. Then they start getting harder as you move up. Red, second red of the rip. And it is a Gravedigger, and it is a first edition. Tell me that one just doesn't go hard color-wise. That red hooded jersey. He's inspired by Stephon Diggs. He's a bad dude. When you show up at the fight with a shovel because you know you're going to put your enemy in the ground, you're a bad dude. I love the Skeletor vibes. I was a He-Man generation kid. The fact that he's got the skeleton top, but then he's somewhere underneath in the middle there, it obviously turns back into flesh, and he's got the flesh down below. I love this character. I love the red. Getting it in first edition, this is a great one. Wow, that's a great card. Love it. Love it. Backing that up with an Aqua, back-to-back color, and it's Bison, and that's in his Magma variation. Bison inspired by Josh Allen. Red, another red, our third red out of 100 packs. Now we are out kicking the odds on some reds, and it is Quake, inspired by Austin Eckler, and that is him in his titanium version. Super strong guy, punching the ground there with that titanium fist and cracking the earth. He is Quake, and that is him in his red titanium version. Aqua. We've gotten color. We've gotten them in spurts. And here is Solaris, a little bit of debate in how we're saying it. But this is him in his fire version. He is inspired by Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Detroit Lions. And he harnesses the power of the sun, and he's a super powerful hero floating in the air. He's a bad dude, not to be messed with for sure. And blue, 3 color in a row. We've been hot on some color. We've only gotten 1 color pop, but we've gotten some other color. This is Warp. This is his fire variation. Warp is inspired by Lamar Jackson. You think about how Lamar Jackson runs around the field. It's like he's warping from one side to the other, doing some crazy stuff at the QB position. And this is his fire version for inspiring Warp, the fire version out of 99. Aqua. Voltage, ice version out of 199. Voltage inspired by Justin Herbert. Throwing that bolt. And big week for him, for Herbert out there on the West Coast. And looks like another offense that can rack up a lot of points. And Voltage will be paying close attention all season to his favorite player, Justin Herbert. All right, so I'm going to hopefully they've skipped around now in some editing and moved that along for you all pretty fast. We've had a good rip so far. We did get a color pop. We got a gold. We've gotten 3 reds. Really solid for the 100 packs. I mean, we've had a really good rip here. I'll show you the last 5 live, no matter what we get, commons or whatever. We'll show these last 5 and bring it home. Let's see how we can finish up here. Blue on pack 95 out of 100, and it is Musket, and he's in his ice version. He is inspired by Mac Jones of the Patriots, and that is blue 99. That is the ice version. Come on, let's double up color. We've doubled up color a good bit throughout this. When we've gotten color, we've gone back-to-back on color several times. There's Attack inspired by Mr. Dak Prescott. Bayou inspired by Jamar Chase. Common, and it is Quake, inspired by Austin Eckler, and that is his ice version. Pack number 99. We got 2 left. I guess I actually did the last 6 now that I think about it, but that's all right. Attack, and that is him in his titanium version. And our last pack. Can we get some last pack magic? It's a gold! Boom! We did get last pack magic, our second gold, and it's Eagle Eye, inspired by Jalen Hurts, a player that I absolutely love. This is his ice version. He's got those ice wings. It goes so well with the way the suit is done here. Really cool. That's 2 golds. Golds are 1 in 650 pack odds. 1 in 100 pack odds for your color pops. We got one of those. I think it's reds are 1 in 65. We hit 3 or 4 of those. This was a great rip. I mean, we definitely outkicked our coverage a little bit here. So pretty awesome. So we'll bounce out, and I'll hop in and we'll take a look at just kind of how this rip went, look at our collection and see where we're at. All right, so let's look and see kind of what we've got here. So there's our unrevealed color pop, which we'll go in and reveal. And let's see here. Let's take a look at let's look at our color that we got. Actually, we got a fair number of aquas. Let's look at our blues, and let's look at, we got reds, and we got golds. So let's see what we got here in color. So the 2 big golds, one of which the Lawman was in Origin Weapon Type, got the first edition stamp. We also got a first edition stamp on a red Gravedigger, a gold Eagle Eye in ice version. Where else did we get? We got a first edition stamp on a blue Eagle Eye. That's pretty sick. Those were we got one more on double check in an aqua. And so this is the color that we picked up out of our 100 packs. And of course, then we also got that color pop. So let's bounce back over and let's reveal that color pop. So we're going to go into the color pop tool, and we're going to reveal our color pop. Should take a second. There it is. Shows me now that I have a color pop, and let's cross our fingers. Hey, I would love to hit something with a multiplier, and then we'll give it away and we'll make a big deal out of it. So I'd love to see a multiplier, but all color pops are awesome. Remember, the color pops, those are the ones that are going to score us our points and earn us our reward miles tied to the fantasy production of the player. And if you remember, like I said, from our first season of Blokpax, this is our first season of Home Team Heroes. It's a new product, but our first year of Blokpax, the average collector that participated in at least 2 drops, that were we refer to that as our active collectors. They did at least 2 drops. Their average reward was 173,000 reward miles. Right now, those have about 5,000-ish buying power. So that's what we're able to get from season 1 in earning. And now let's reveal this and see what this color pop could possibly do for us here in season 1 of the Home Team Heroes. A Merlomes, that's a big one. That's a big one. We got Merlomes inspired by Patrick Mahomes. That's a titanium weapon he's carrying. It's not like the base set. Remember, all of these are unique. The art on every single color pop is unique. So he'll have a unique variation of his mask, his suit, the jersey part of his suit, the pants, the robe, all of those things will get mixed and matched. The weapon will get mixed and matched. But this is a Merlomes. So now, holding this color pop, every time Patrick Mahomes throws a touchdown on the field, this color pop is earning. That's pretty sick. Love it. Great hit there. Awesome. So now we bounce back over into our collection, and we see here that we have our Merlomes color pop is now part of our collection. So next up, got my little pug over there. He's being a bad boy. Billy, don't do that. Next up, I'm going to, we'll go in and I'll show you how to list some things for sale, how to buy, to fill out build a set if you want, and we'll move into some other stuff there. But, and we also still have those baseball packs. I can rip those at some point, but we'll move over and start kind of making sure we understand how to do some other things here in the platform. All right, now that we have some cards, we ripped some packs, now it's time to start building sets. If we have something that we want to sell, we can do that. Now it's time to kind of really dig in and experience the depth of the collection and all the stuff that you can do. So obviously I could list some of my stuff for sale if that's the direction I want to go. I could list this Merlomes color pop for sale. I could list any of my cards for sale. But I think what I would like to do is I think I'm going to go in and maybe add to my collection. So when I come up here, one thing that is important to understand is that when you list items for sale and they sell, you're going to start accruing up BPX. BPX is the reward mile. It is the currency of our ecosystem. And if you hit a big card, like if you were the person that hit that Showtime, or you hit the equivalent of a huge card in football and you sell it and you've got, $7,000 equivalent sitting there and you want to pull that out because it pays your car payment for the year, makes a difference, and you don't want to spend it in the auctions or on other cards, totally fine. We can walk you through the process of how to do that. But most people, it's, the shiny thing is to try to stack up your reward miles either through your points and what you earn or through selling pieces of your collection, refining around the edges, and then taking that over to the reward room or taking it to the auctions, peer versus peer in the bidding process. That's what most people are after. But until you get up and going and start getting your own reward miles, either through selling or earning, you're going to probably want to put in a store credit. So if you click here to add a store credit, you can add this in US dollar terms. If you put in just 25 or 50, you get 25 or 50. If you go over 100, you start getting some bonuses. So the $100 gets you a 10% bonus. You actually get 110 of credit. If you drop down and do 1,000, that's the best value that we have here. It'll get you a $250 bonus. So I'll just go ahead and add in 100 here. So I'll click this, and then we'll do the cooking show thing, and I'll come back in just a second with that credit added to my account. But all I have to do is fill this form out here, boom, and then I'll have that in my account instantly. So let me hop in and fill this out and do that. All right, so cooking show mode, I put in my credit instantly there. I put in the $100 option. I now have my $110, and I'll show you how easy it is. Let's just say, all right, I want to go over to the football base set. And I just want to grab a card here. I'll just grab the cheapest one, this barreler, ice barreler, and I can just come in and click buy it now. I've got my store credit, hit next, complete purchase, and that's it. It's
Done. All right, so now back in our collection, and we'll hop in here to the base set. I'll sort it by barreler, and we'll see that card that we got. You'll actually see it was a few minutes ago. Phone rang while I was recording, so we had to do a little editing. But there's our purchase 7 minutes ago. If I click on, go back into my collection, I also have an activity tab, so you can see all the activity that I did, and you'll also see where I was messing around on the phone, and I listed and unlisted this this tongue twister. But here's the barreler that we bought, 25 BPX, 97 cents is what we did. We used a store credit, and then that seller now has that 25 BPX that they can then use however they see fit. So now if we go back into this tongue twister, so now we scroll down, this particular Biohazard tongue twister in red, out of 25, last one sold, it was 900 BPX. 3483 is what that would be using store credit. And let's say that I'm going to list this for sale. You list everything in BPX. It is the coin that makes everything tick here. I'm going to bump it up to 1,000 because I think Tongue Twister's a little more collectible than that. I think he's worth a little bit of a bump over the last comp there. So put that in so somebody could come along. They can scoop that for 1,000 BPX, or they can scoop that for $38 using store credit. And I'll hit complete listing, and that's that. And it's now listed, and someone can come along and they can now grab that card. And then once they do, once that sells, I'll actually get that credited up here. And then again, as I earn my miles, that they'll get credited up here. And so you can operate off of this store credit as long as you need to. You can start stacking your miles, and then you can take your miles over and you can actually then begin to use them in the reward zone, reward room. So if I go down here to the reward room, you could also use your store credit in there. So like I can buy that card with a store credit, but let's just say that if I had, like heck, I like this Jeter. It's in a 9, and I want to grab that card. Same thing. I hit buy now. If I had BPX reward miles, if I had sold that Tua, and maybe a few more cards, or I sold one of my big golds, I could come over here and grab this card. And now I own this, and I own the real card, and I can have it shipped to me, or I can leave it in the Blokpax vault, and I can freely trade it. I can list it back for sale, or I can send the token to another person, and whoever owns the digital token for this card, they own the card and they can redeem the card. So, and then when we get to the auction, I can use my BPX to bid in the auction. So that's how all the inner workings of all that work. And again, I can cut a video on how to actually withdraw your BPX. If you want to pull it out, you'll actually use a self-custody crypto wallet, pull it out and exchange it to USDC, exchange it to ETH. You can exchange it to Bitcoin if you want. It takes a few more steps to get it there because it's not native to the Ethereum chain that we use. But we've really worked to strip away as much of that as we can to make this super easy for you. But if you want to use those crypto rails because you hit a big card and you want to pull it out, you can. That's available to you, and we'll just cut a separate video to that. But that's basically it. So you can come in now, I think, with this information. I think you can get up and rolling, start understanding what the sets are, start building some sets, start following those color pops and see how those players are scoring on the field this past week. I mean, Tongue Twister scored a ton of points. Cheetah scored a ton of points because Tyreek Hill had a monster week. So you can just start, going in. The color pops, they have a floor of 200,000 points. So even though Rodgers got hurt, there's still a good floor under a double check color pop if you pull one out. And to put that in perspective, a black 1 of 1 in the base set is worth 250,000 points for just collecting it. So a color pop still is going to get you almost that same amount, even in a situation like with double check where his inspired hero got hurt. But come in, browse around, get into the resources. We'll be cutting tons of content to help you and understand this better. We have people in the community that do Twitter spaces and podcasts around the products. Just a lot of information that you can get, but it all starts by hopping in, take yours, buy and rip. Baseball season's winding down here. Matata, he's got an inspired hero, Ronald Acuna. Mookie Betts inspired a hero called Gambler. They're in a big battle head-to-head for MVP. I think Showtime's got it wrapped up in the AL. If those players win MVP, the color pops for those particular heroes will get a bump. They get a multiplier. I think it's a 50% multiplier for winning MVP. So for either Gambler or Matata, one of those heroes is going to get a big bump when MVP gets announced. And so, but again, you can learn all about that down here in the color points and the HTH scoring and the resources. All that stuff is explained. It's a ton of fun, and I hope you're going to want to jump in and give it a shot.